and we will see you this weekend for the WWE Royal Rumble in St. Petersburg, Florida. But before we get there, I'm John Renton with my review of WWE Raw from the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans, Louisiana. And literally, within spitting distance, right across the way is the historic New Orleans Superdome. And I mean, it is literally right over there. I mean, not over there in this sense. I don't live in New Orleans, Louisiana. You could walk on your hands. You could inch up and down like a worm. You could take a little trikey. You could ride a giant tortoise. You could ride the fast snail that was in the Never-Ending Story. Except you really don't need to ride a fast snail. I mean, you literally actually could just spin. You could just roll like Ralph down that hill in that Simpsons episode. Yeah, if you can't tell, I'm just absolutely over the goddamn moon about Raw. Boy, am I ever. Boy, I'm just glad Raw is over. That's what she said. And I do want to apologize for this review being up a little bit later than normal. I went and watched a Regal mystery movie. It was Land of Bad, and boy, it was bad. Check out my review of that. Also, yes, the Go Home Raw for the WWE Royal Rumble. My predictions will be up, I don't know, sometime after this, obviously, because I can't do the predictions and them Raw because I have to talk about what happened on Raw and the nice, neat little pieces that they put together. And even though they really just did a couple neat little things, and then the rest of the show was just basically a wash, much like a lot of Raw lately. I do also want to say, due to working more hours later in the week, particularly through the weekend, I will not be reviewing SmackDown this week. That's fine. I might catch the last hour. I got to work some on Friday. Unusual for me, but more money, more problems. I'm coming out. I'm coming out. Boy, Diddy certainly, came out and came all over a whole lot of people, didn't he? Allegedly. So yeah, let's get to the Raw reviews. So the Smoothie King Center, they had around 9,000 people. I think the venue holds 17,000, 18,000 people. You know what? They still had about 9,000 people there. I think that's better than anything another company would do. Cody and CM Hat are there because Punk had a new hat. I want it. So here's Seth Pheasant Rollins in a bright green suit here to address his future. He mentions, I'm not going to go over every single detail of this, but he thanks the fans. He has a grade 2 MCL tear. He has a partially torn meniscus. And it's 3 to 4 months if he gets surgery. He was very somber, but before he could say anything, Imperium interrupts and Gunther basically congratulates him on being a great champion, a fighting champion. He was very, very good and was hoping to face him because he wanted to win the Royal Rumble and face him, but now that's not going to happen. And Rollins said, you didn't let me finish. I'm going to fight through this. I hope that Seth knows what he's doing, and I hope that after Mania, he gets surgery and takes time off, because he's 37 or 38 years old. I mean, he's around that. He's had a lot of injuries. He had that knee injury back just before WrestleMania 33. Here's the thing. He was 30 or 31 years old at that point. And now he's basically on borrowed time. So I hope that he's able to gut it out until Mania. Credit to him. I think it's fucking stupid, but I don't blame him for wanting to be a workhorse champion. This was good stuff between him and Gunther. I wouldn't mind seeing that at some point. And Gunther beating the shit out of Rollins at some point. Maybe beating the shit out of him the Raw after Mania and sending him packing to get surgery and have a return program. Why not do that? So, I hope Seth knows what he's doing. I hope he's going to be all right. So, then basically, Gunther did mention he will win the Rumble this Sunday. It's Saturday. Let's not confuse ourselves. Austrians have different calendars. Sorry to everybody in Austria watching. And then New Day attack the other two members of Imperium. No Priest cash-in, by the way, but then again, Rollins isn't medically cleared. They did that with Bryan Danielson and Mark Henry. New Day took on Imperium. I'm not going to get into a long, detailed discussion about the match because it's more memorable for the aftermath, I guess. Double count out, and then they brawl into the crowd, and then they fight on a box. Actually, it's not a box, it's a box-like structure. And they crash through tables. The crowd loved it to the point where the holy shit chants were getting bleeped. Yeah, good. Okay, it was what it was. They're trying to do this. They're trying to juice this up as much as possible. I hope this means Big E will come back and we will get a 3-on-3 match, possibly in Hell in a Cell. Big E versus Gunther, I'd be for. if Big E never comes back to wrestling, I just hope that he can have a healthy life. I hope he shows up at the Rumble. WWE 2K24 plug. Cool. So, I did not know that the venue was that close to the Superdome, though. I've never been in New Orleans. So, package on Priest and Drew. Judgment Day is backstage. I know stuff was said, but Rhea was distracting. My God, Rhea looked amazing. My God. Amazing. It was something about taking care of various people, but Rhea just goddamn. So, Jackie is talking to Ivy and Maxine. At least Ivy mostly should have done the talking here, because anytime Maxine tries to talk, I'm just like, no. She's not a talker. She's not a wrestler. I'm sorry. I'm sure she's trying. It's not working. The Creeds, they need to get them away from this goofy shit. They need to treat the Creeds seriously. They reminded us that Maxine beat Valhalla in a match. I would like to forget that Maxine ever wrestled. And then Ivy took on Miss January 6th, a.k.a. Valhalla, who probably smells like rotted meat, and that's just her feet. This was really bad, and I just blame the fact that Valhalla is just not very good. And probably wants to, go hunt and do stuff other than rioting, you stupid bitch. Hopefully her daughter, grows up to be smarter than her, which probably won't be very hard. Yeah. Ivy won. No thanks to Maxine being absolutely fucking useless. And she's acting like she did something. Good for you. And then Jay brings New Day Ice. And here's Jackie. Well, when does this end? Kofi says he wants Gunther next week. Jackie's like, okay. Great interview skills there. I'm sure she's nice, but she is not cut out to do backstage interviews. Damage Controller in the background. And then Crushinator Jack shows up. I muted the television. I don't know what she said. I don't fucking care. Unless she is off television, I have no interest in seeing anything she does. So, Becky's here to save this segment. Nobody likes you. You probably injured half the roster because Nia's careless and stupid twat and deserves every bit of ridicule she gets. Here's Bayley. We get a brief brawl. I did find it comical how Becky took the bump for, when Bayley pushed her into Nia. So Becky and Rhea, they had a stare down backstage. Miz told Truth, we're not in a tag match. Don't come out for this match. Truth and everybody else should just, come out for this match because this match needs saving. Miz versus Dominic, a.k.a. Eric Watts 2.0. Dominic is not cut out to do shit in the ring. He is sloppy. He is not good. I'm not saying Miz is a world beater. He has never been a ring general, but Jesus goddamn Christ. The timing was way off. The interference was messy. Apparently Dominic had a replica pair of Paraguayo's boots. He could have gotten the originals. It's not like he's using them. And a crossbody, springboard crossbody for 2. That was a nice move by Miz. Interference botches. Dominic won. DIY comes and, yeah, they do all their shit. Jackie is with Priest. And then Truth has a stack for him. Jackie was reminded of a previous life that she had. And then Priest, almost cracked. That was funny. Gable made his entrance and I left to go to the movie. And here comes Bronson, is here to solve the Jey Uso problem and fix the IC title. And then Gable took on Thybar. Look, they can do good shit. The gimmicks are stupid. I will never watch anything with Gable in a singles match until they stop with this Alpha Academy stuff. I'm done. I can't fucking do it. The Chase U stuff I hate. I don't even hate the participants. Except Maxine. I don't even hate her. She's just fucking useless. And Valhalla appeared. The smell alone should have told Gable that she was around. And a moonsault. 1, 2, 3. The crowd seemed to be popping for some of this stuff. And these guys can do athletic shit, but they've been presented like idiots. And apparently Montez Ford and Bianca have a show coming to Hulu. Good for them. No, really, good for them. I hope they have a great time. Cody comes out to a pop. Punk comes out to a pop. Face to face. And Tony Khan could have had both these guys, but no, he was in fear for his life with one and couldn't actually have structure and be a proper boss for the other. What do you want to talk about? And Punk says, your dad. And Dusty told Punk, he sent his son to OVW in 2007, keep an eye on my kid. You didn't need that. You didn't need a guardian angel. You didn't get into any of the vices that have taken so many of our contemporaries. You grew up. You grew out of his shadow. I'm proud of you. On Saturday, though, I'm usually looking out for you on Saturday. I'll be looking for you. Cody got some good lines in later, but Cody just generally sounds, I'm sorry, so phony to me. And Punk says, I can put business and personal aside, can you? They talk about Dusty and how Cody had something to live up to, that yes, Dusty was the son of a plumber and everything, and Cody had this legendary dad to grow out of the shadow of. And Punk even said, my dad was a blue-collar electrician and everything. In fact, that makes me more of the American dream than you. That was good. And let's talk about the pipe bomb and, all the stuff. You talk about change, and then you left. You didn't care who picked up the torch. I did. I did everything you said you would do in that pipe bomb. I actually did it. That makes me more CM Punk than you. And that pissed CM Punk off. CM Punk, was like, it was a little hot in here, and got right in his face, and it was good. Talking about all this story and everything, and being on WWE 2K24. Congratulations, by the way. It's on sale at some point soon, and that story, all that stuff you want, I'll take it from you. Cody says, I have one dream, and I have one direction. It's a story of his life. But he says that direction is going to go through you. And then a stare down, a long one. They get out opposite sides of the ring. Good stuff. Good stuff. It actually felt like a wrestling program. And then Punk to Wade, put all your money on me. Hulk Hogan package. 40 years ago, Tuesday. I mean, it basically is Tuesday when I'm recording. It's early Tuesday. On January 23rd, 1984, he beat the Iron Sheik, and it was a big goddamn deal. If you ever watch that actual show, the whole show, it's not very good, but what a memorable moment. I did talk about the birth of Hulkamania in a Real Honest Thoughts video. You can check that out if you want. And he talks about the people on the roster, the Rumbles, the men and women Rumbles. And you never know who will show up. I might have one more left in me. If they put Hogan in the goddamn Rumble, I would actually love to see that for this specific reason. Toss him over the top and let's just see if his, surgically repaired back doesn't snap in two. Just let's see that. So, I might have one more left in me. God help us. If they wanted to have him at WrestleMania 40 in like a 6-man tag or something like that, they might be able to pull it off, but Hogan can't do anything. He can't get in the ring. He can't do his leg drop. He could try the Axe Bomber, and he'd probably fall right over. It'd be worse than Ultimate Warrior's last match against Orlando Jordan. By the way, fuck the Ultimate Warrior. I'm glad he's dead. Indy and Candice took on Zoe and Shayna. The tag champs were watching on, Katana and Caden, and look, the crowd didn't care, and neither did I. Candice can work. Candice cannot find a personality to save her life. Indy, I think they pretty much have squandered anything with Indy at this point. Zoe and Shayna are certainly a team that exists, and Candice got pinned in about 5 minutes. Asuka and Kairi then attack. Dakota stands there, and Asuka, goddamn, has turned back the clock as far as energy, as far as looks. Not that she looked old, but she looks fucking incredible. And she's dancing around the Damage Control theme. That was funny. And then Jackie, it's like, I'm Jackie, right? Yeah, we know who you are, Jackie. We know, unfortunately. And here's Drew, and he feels slighted, the stuff that happened during the pandemic, and Priest isn't ready, he's going to prove it. Pierce is talking to Damage Control. Bayley says, well, when they win the tag titles, you're going to have to deal with us a lot more. Then here's Jinda's Cher. And Pierce says he needs a drink. That's fair. And more Rumble numbers, the Rumble rundown, the card rundown. And then Drew and Priest had a match where Truth showed up later with his big stack. Priest got pissed, shoved him down. He's like, oh, right, put it in the briefcase. And then they did this long, convoluted thing where they kept doing near falls. And then Truth got involved and stopped Priest, inadvertently stopped Priest from getting the victory. And then Priest was just pissed. And Drew won with a Claymore. Raw is going to be reviewed at least for a while, weekly, but with the mystery movies, if I don't feel like reviewing an episode that particular week, if it's just not good, I almost decided not to review this one. But because it's the go-home show for the Rumble and I want to talk about the Cody Punk segment, they got to give me more shit to run on. They really do. At least run with. So agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rentlin. I'll see you soon.